When you see the unemployment rate spiking, when you see the job market faltering, when you see people getting laid off, that's when we are basically confirming the recession. And when we go into a recession, what happens? A ton of money printing. Money goes everywhere as they try to reinflate the bubble and basically, well, stop the fall of the economy. Well, that's kind of where we're at right now, which, by the way, tomorrow we're supposed to be receiving the BLS labor report. We're not getting it tomorrow because of the partial government shutdown that was in effect for 4 days or something, 3-4 days, whatever it was. Because of that, they've extended out the labor report that was supposed to come out tomorrow. They're bringing it out next week instead on Wednesday. So they're delaying it basically because they're just blowing smoke here. And we basically know that those numbers are manipulated heavily anyway. They're probably not even accurate. Anyway, let's pop up this article right here, right now. Feel free to read the details on this, but let's point out what's going on here. Okay, so we get this report out of Challenger Gray and Christmas. And again, you can see right here in the article that employers announced 108,000 plus job cuts just in the month of January alone. That's really bad. I'm just going to say that much. That's really, really bad, right? That is not a sign of a healthy economy whatsoever. When you see that many job cuts in the private sector in a single month's time, that's not a good situation, right? Meanwhile, as I mentioned earlier in the video, the weekly jobless claims numbers came out this morning as well, again spiking to over 230,000. Now, I'm going to be fair, that's not like a super high number, but nonetheless, it's spiked by about 20,000 on a week-over-week basis. So it's kind of the wrong direction, wrong trajectory if we're trying to revitalize and bring this economy back. I'm just going to say this. I'm going to go out on a little limb here, and I'm going to say this. We're kind of getting to the point of no return on this economy. And maybe that's the wrong thing to say right now, but I'm just going to be real with you. With all of the bad jobs numbers, the labor numbers that we've seen over the last several months through the BLS, the Bureau of Labor Statistics jobs numbers, the non-farm payroll or the government report that comes out the first Friday of every month, again, the one that's supposed to be released tomorrow, that's not going to be released tomorrow, but rather will be released next Wednesday instead. These numbers have been coming out bad, worse and worse and worse every single year. Every single month, not year. Every single month over the last handful of months here. And we continue to get all these analysts that come back and say, oh no, it's just a blip. There was bad weather. Yeah, bad weather. So therefore it infected the jobs reports. Yeah, it's just excuses. These are called excuses. What the point is that whatever you want to call it, the weather, the holidays, whatever it is, we're seeing a slowing labor market in a significant way. When we see a slowing labor market, what this means is that's the last domino to fall. Reason being is that the economy has already slowed significantly. By the time that jobs are being lost and the labor market is seeing it in spiking unemployment and all of these details like we're seeing in these reports like this, when you see it coming through these reports here, it's too late. The economy has already slowed to the point where now the last option for businesses, small, medium, and large, is we need to cut payrolls because we don't have the business, we don't have the revenues coming in, we need to cut payrolls. That's generally one of the last things that they do as a cost-cutting measure to keep the doors open and the lights on, is by cutting payrolls. When we start to see this happening, it's too late. We're already in the doom loop, right? And we're seeing this reflected in the markets that have been selling off massively over the last couple weeks here. Get ready, it's going to get even worse, right? The point is, we're knocking on the door of that recession that so many people have been talking about, and yes, me too, that many people have been talking about for many years now. We're knocking on the door and saying, hey, recession house, can we come on in and hang out for a while? It's likely that we're going to get whacked around here for a while, okay? But the reason that I want to make such a big deal about this is that when we go into a recession and a major economic contraction, like what we're likely probably going to see here relatively soon, when that happens, what do lawmakers do? They approve multiple trillions of dollars worth of packages. They call them stimulus packages, or they give them some fancy name like CARES Act, American Rescue Plan, or whatever it happens to be, the Inflation Reduction Act, the OBBB, things like this, right? And they bring these huge packages in, and they stimulate like crazy. Now, obviously, no guarantees whatsoever